Hey guys, what's up? So I'm finally getting around to opening up all these boxes. I haven't really had time, but everything's finally here. Well, almost everything. I'm missing the intake and exhaust piping, the intake filter, and a bunch of little stuff here and there, but this is all the main stuff is here. The turbo's already been opened, and a couple other things, but besides that, yeah, let's just jump right in. First, the big stuff. The transmission, it's P2A5 off of the F22, so pretty much a stock 94 cord transmission, except this one's been rebuilt with the M Factory LSD and Synchrotech carbon rebuild kit, which is right here. Well, the rebuild kit's actually in there, but this is just how it looked like. Yeah, it was pretty cool that it came with a bunch of OEM Honda parts on top of their carbon synchros, and yeah, I appreciate that the shop actually put everything right back how it was, so that I know everything is actually there. And for the block, it's an F22B1, which is the exact one. This is the one that came off of the Gold Accord. I pretty much just cleaned it up. I sent it off to get the cylinder support system, which is pretty much they machine out a wider gap, and then they press in their ring to make it a closed deck block, which reinforces it really good. They guarantee up to 500 horsepower, I believe, and some people say these hold up to 700 or 800, but I'm not going to get anywhere near that. So yeah, it was 85 millimeter before, which was stock. Now I bored it out to 85.5 millimeter. The compression is going to be 9.0 to 1, and yeah, that's it for the block. I have the crankshaft right here, which stock crankshaft has just been polished. And, there it is. They just polished it up, nice and shiny, ready to go back in. Well, let's start on this side, and then we'll work our way down that way. So we already looked at that. Let's see. So this is all the stuff that I'm gonna reuse. I believe these are springs off of the first whiskey I used. Yeah, springs, a flange, and a switch. So this switch, or these switches, because there's multiple here, I'm going to use them to override the fan, so that I can turn on the fan before the ECU turns it on, or I can turn it off whenever I'm just gonna, well, whenever I need it quiet, because the spout fan, it's pretty loud because it's high performance. It's a lot louder than stock. Let's see, these are the catch can lines. I'm gonna reuse those. And I got some more lines actually, I'll show you later. This is the ECU. This already has the S300 in it. Yeah, this already has the S300 in it. You just plug it in right there to connect it to the laptop. The S300 box is right here. So yeah, it's gonna be tuned by Darden. Shout out to Darden Tuned. Yeah, this is the box that I used for the first time around, and yeah, that's pretty much what it came with. There's the Honda sticker in here, and yeah, that's that. As far as the ECU goes, this is the oil gauge, and here's the boost controller. The Honda boost controller. I love this one because this is a 4-port where you can use like a 6-pound spring in the wastegate itself, and then you can boost up to like 35 or 40 pounds. That way you can have traction on your first couple gears, and then you can boost a lot more up top as opposed to being limited to low boost or high boost. So yeah, I love it. Shout out to Honda. Let's see, this is the Omni 3-bar map sensor. Blow-off valve. This is actually a rare part. It's the Garrett Type S, the genuine one. That's the most replicated one ever. It sounds like a sneeze, so I'm definitely not going to reuse that. My brother's actually going to use it. I have it because I'm going to cut out the flange to reuse it for my right there. We'll get to it. Vacuum lines and fittings for the boost. The feed line, which is going to connect to this sandwich plate right here. So it's going to be this feed line with this adapter going into this big port on the sandwich plate. And another reason I'm a fan of Golden Eagle is because it's the only one on the market that it goes through the filter and then gets fed into the other ports. So your turbo is always going to get fresh oil, cleaned oil. The oil pressure sensor and a vibrant 4-bolt gasket, which I'm not going to reuse because that's a 2.5 inch. I have a 3-inch V-band on my turbo now. So this is the head. It's been fully redone. Well, yeah, it's been redone to stock, except for it has upgraded springs, titanium retainers. It's the Mishimoto kit they have on their website. It's not ported, not polished. It's just 3-angle valve job. So yeah, fresh head, ready to go. T-shirts from where I got all my stuff. So Real Street sent me a shirt. Race Engineering, they sent me the internals. Delta Camshaft, which is the cam right here. I'll talk about that later. This is either the muffler or the resonator. This is box inside of a box. This is the vibrant resonator. This is pretty much the same style that I used on the Gold Accord, except this is a 3-inch, and I was running 2.5 inch before. So yeah, there it is. Nice straight through. Hopefully it's not so raspy. I can get I want it as quiet as possible without restriction. So if I could have it as quiet as a Prius, that would be perfect, but I don't want the resonators or mufflers that go in circles and all that stuff, because I know that's just going to restrict the power. But yeah, I want it real quiet. There it is, Dynamax Ultra Flow. So this is also a straight through design. So yeah, you can go look straight through it. Exhaust is gonna flow amazing, hopefully. This is boring right here. It's just 3-inch V-bands. Yeah, 3-inch V-bands for the exhaust, so I can take it apart relatively easy. This is 2 3/4 for the wastegate. So my wastegate is actually gonna go out right off the wastegate and into the muffler. Well, not the muffler, but the exhaust system. So it's quiet, because I hate, and it's not sleeper, for the wastegate to open and it just starts screaming. Like I said, I want it as quiet as possible, so I'm going to recirculate just like I did on my other Accord. Let's see. This is I bought this used off of Craigslist actually. It's an autometer boost gauge. Excited to use that because I had a cheap glow shift before. Oh, I'm making a mess. What's this? I actually have no idea what this is. And okay, why is this outside? It broke through the box. This is a fuel pressure gauge. And okay, that's awkward. Why is it outside the box? Alright, whatever. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and it's aeromotive, by the way. I don't know if you could see it from up there. Comedic, this is my head gasket. Let's pop this bad boy open. There it is. Comedic Street Pro. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I've never used one of these before, so hopefully it works good. And by the way, this is custom made. They didn't have off-the-shelf 85.5 millimeter for the F22, but yeah, it only took, I believe, 4 days for them to make it, and then they shipped it off. And oh, more stickers. So sticker collection right there. This is the catch can. I bought a 6-port, even though I don't think there's even 6 places to put it on my car. But you can buy 10AN fittings to plug whatever you're not going to use. So it's always good to have more options. So yeah, there's a 6-port. It's actually baffled, so it's not just an empty can. It's meant to mount to the OEM battery tray for a Civic or an Integra, but we'll use that, just not on the OEM spot. This is the filters. Cute little filters. I actually want these red, so if I can't find them red, I'm to rebuy them. I'm actually gonna put like the tie-dye colors to make it red, because race car, call me a racer. Let's put this back in here. The clutch master cylinder. This is a slave cylinder. This right here, already opened it. It's like 20 or 30 feet of the catch can line, because I don't know how much I'm going to use. Like I said, I still have yet to figure that out. So I bought a bunch of those, a bunch of that, with a bunch of fittings. These are assorted. So yeah, I got 45 degrees, 90 degrees, and just straight fittings. Oil pan. Let's open this up. Yeah, it's just OEM replacement oil pan. I'm gonna drill and tap a hole for the oil return, but I still have to see how I'm gonna route that, because I don't even have the manifold finished yet. The LSD, we already talked about this. It's in there. It's just a stock differential. The M factory is in there, so unfortunately we don't get to see it unless I have a picture. Bling. This is the innovative mount, so this is pretty cool. This is the 3 other mounts. So okay, so when I have bought the innovative traction bar, which is a big wet box, and to run that on the motor, you're gonna need this front motor mount that they make. I'm gonna try to open it. So yeah, you run it like that, right there, and so you get this one, and these are the 3 other matching pairs for it. So this is the back one, and this is the transmission side. These are actually pretty sturdy. And the driver's side. This is the camshaft. It's Delta cam, so it's pretty much a stock camshaft where it's been reground to a 272 grind, I believe they called it. So it's a stage 2, which is perfect for turbo. Yeah, they regrind the VTEC and the non-VTEC side, so it's gonna still idle funny. And I'm gonna have power on the low end, just cruising around, and then the VTEC is gonna kick in pretty aggressively. And there she sits, Delta cam. It's gorgeous. Okay, next up are these AEM boxes. That's the fuel pressure regulator and the fuel rail. Okay, so the regulator. Which is, there's the regulator right there. So it's just some hardware, paper, and big instructions. And there it is. And that bolts up right to this. Some more hardware. More instructions. And there it is. It's nice and thick, kind of heavy. And this is going to bolt up right there, just like that. ARP head studs. Got a notice. Instructions. Fastener assembly lube. Oh, these actually came in a bag. Now that I remember, my brother opened them to measure the length. I don't know why, but yeah, he did open them. Here's the bolts, the washers, and yeah, it just comes with the studs. These are the ARP head studs. The injectors. These are the ID 1700s. When I called Real Street to buy the 2000s, but they recommended to get the 1700s for my power levels. And these are actually more expensive, but they said that's because these are newer technology. The 2000s have been around for a while, and the 1700s are their newer product. So yeah, that's them right there. And it came with the clips. An ideal injector dynamic sticker, more for the collection. Innovative MTXL, which is the wideband. I used to have, well, I was previously running the older version of this one, so that would be the MTXL. This one is the MTXL Plus. I got the 8-foot cable version, so I can have a lot of mounting options. Put it wherever I want. I'll move it around. This is just to connect it to a computer, so I believe this is for programming it for different fuels as well as data logging. So I think you can data log with just the gauge as opposed to a whole entire aftermarket ECU. This is the gauge itself. This is the bung to weld it. I did it before. Picture. This is the wideband itself. The bezel, so you can change colors. So that's a white face cover with the silver bezel, and if I'm correct, in here it should come with the black one. And yep, there it is. With the black one, MTXL Plus. Looks pretty good. Mounting bracket already on it. And a sticker. Boom. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, next up, let's check out the internals, which is the rods, the pistons, and the bearings. Standard ACL bearings. So when I ordered this kit, it ended up coming with standard bearings, and I called them because I wanted the race bearings, but they don't make them for this engine. I would have to probably custom order them, so I'm going with the regular aluminum silicone. The rods first. And there it is. Beautiful. Comes with some assembly lube, some instructions, sticker in there. I'm gonna get that out in a little bit. And it's really sticky inside. There it is. And these pistons were previously opened because my machine shop measured each and every piston and then bored the block to the exact measurements. They went 35 over. 35 over the size of this, so 0.0035. And there's the piston. And also, they upgraded me to the high boost pressure wrist pins, and I think the only difference is that they're thicker. These are the piston rings. And wrist pin retainers. Earlier I didn't open these because they're just bearings. I guess to me they're boring, but while I'm at it, might as well just unbox everything. Here's the bearings. And some more bearings. I believe these are the rods, and this is for the crank to the block. And these are the thrust washers. And yeah, that's it. With the blow-off valve. Okay, let's bring that over here. Actually, stickers. This is a genuine Gretty Type FV, which is the new version of the pink one or purplish one I had. The other one's ancient. It's actually from Fast and the Furious. You could actually hear them in there. The first Fast and the Furious at that. So this is the FV. I like this one because I heard the sample of it and it actually sounds a little bit deeper and more like a blow-off valve as opposed to a sneeze. So it comes with some blue line, which blue is tacky. I'm a ricer with red, so I'm probably not going to use this. The flange, or the gasket, I should say. Some instructions. I don't saw a blow off of. And the hardware. And here is the beautiful Gretty Type FV. I hope the camera can pick up how gorgeous this gunmetal gray looks. Alright. And we got the Mishimoto Radiator. Let's just pull it right out. Down. And then also, okay, so we have this lube, which I've never seen come with any other radiator, but so just to make your life easier, sliding the hoses over the necks right there. And let's take a look at this. Don't discredit Mishimoto. This damage right here, it's not that bad, but I did that because I was test fitting it. It's all my fault. Yeah, it's a 3-row, it's pretty thick, so hopefully you can keep it cool. The back isn't that bad. Looks good. This is an oil pump. I actually couldn't find an OEM one. I went to the Honda parts dealership, and they said they're discontinued. I believe other websites sell them, but by the time I found that out, I had already bought this, so might as well. Yeah, just an oil pump. OEM Honda wheel bearings. And there it is, that times 2. Fuel pump. This is the Walbro 455. I was originally gonna buy the combo with the ID 2000s, and it came with AM 320. But they said I need smaller injectors and a bigger pump, so I ended up going with the 1700s and the 455. And they went ahead and threw in the installation kit, and the filter, little hose, some wiring. This has gotta be, I don't know. Okay, cool. So these are the Flywheel Boats. You could never actually find these every time you switch your transmission, or you end up stripping one, and might as well. I bought the combo that also came with pressure plate bolts. Timing cover kit. Because the older one, I guess it was reusable. Actually, it was cracked, but I mean, I guess these aren't that important. But again, if I'm gonna make it look pretty, I might as well just add the little touches. It's pretty cheap too. Let's just get these out of the way. Okay, so these are the NGK radiums, BKR8s. These are recommended by my tuner. Like $10 each, or 12. Who knows? Like 50 bucks for this box. Ridiculous. There's the KS tuned balance shaft delete kit. This looks really nice, and it's probably not even going to show. But when I bought this, the seller actually make two versions of this kit. The only difference is this tap and this plug. And these are two plug oil passages, and they make this small one, but my engine requires a little bit bigger one. So they sent me a replacement. And blocks. This is the Egr Block Off Plate on the intake manifold. Looks pretty cute. That sticker's all mine. Oh, okay. So this is the oil pan studs, because I think I lost a few of the studs when I made the block all bare for the machining. So the replacement studs. They're also extended, so I guess it's easier to install, people say. This is tested tape. It's used for refreshing wiring harnesses. So what you do is you strip off the old insulation and the plastic and rewrap the bare wires tightly with this. And it's heat resistant up to 150 degrees Celsius. It's abrasion resistant, and the adhesive on it doesn't melt with the heat of the engine base. So you pretty much have a brand new wiring harness as long as the wires inside aren't damaged. Exhaust manifold studs, because why not? This is an OEM replacement flywheel, because I didn't go with the light flywheel because yeah, they rev up a little faster, but people also say that the revs also drop faster because there's no weight to keep spinning, you know, to keep the RPMs up there, and it's not a good trade-off for me. If I want it to rev up a little faster, I can just add a little bit more boost. So yeah, there she is. Stock flywheel. The clutch kit. This is a stage 4. Comes with stickers, installation instructions, how to properly grease. A lot of padding. And here's the disc. Of course, sprung, streetable. I'm not building a race car here. At least not a full race car. Pressure plate. competition clutch. Looks good. Throw up bearing and clutch alignment tool, of course. Comes with every single one. And yeah, that's it. Wastegate. Okay, comes with some instructions. It's actually very clear instructions. Some springs. I already got a whole bunch of these. One of the big reasons why I went with Precision is because this kit is cheaper than most wastegates, and it comes with extra springs. Other ones you just gotta buy the wastegate by itself and then buy springs on the sides. So it comes with a bunch of springs, and it's more than just, I believe there's 2 in there and then these 3, but you have unlimited options, so you can have this blue one and then put this yellow one inside and it'll be even stiffer, and just make little combos like that. So that's why I love this kit. Some hardware, banjo bolts, and a V-band. I believe this V-band is to weld onto a manifold. So you weld this side to a manifold and then just attach this to it. So anyway, that's the wastegate right here. It's a 44 millimeter. It's actually, this is sold as a 46 millimeter, but it bolts onto the tile 44 millimeter, and yeah, it's pretty much a 44 millimeter with a little bit bigger area, so they can claim it's a 46. It actually does flow better on tests. If you look it up on forums, they've actually done bench tests and it flows better. And yeah. Alright, and here we have the Wideband intercooler. This inlet and outlet is 2.5 inches. The reason I went with 2.5 inch, everyone is saying if you're modding it this much, go with 3-inch piping, but no one makes a throttle body. At least I couldn't find a throttle body for my engine that was 3 inches wide. So I find it kind of pointless to get a 3-inch piping and then to just neck down into 2.5 inches at the throttle body. So yeah, just 2.5 inch inlet outlet. And there she is. I already mounted this if you already saw the previous episode. And I'm storing her in here. This is a bar and plate, by the way, not tube and fin. So it is kind of heavy. It's like probably 10-15 pounds. No, it's like closer to 20. But that's fine. This is the innovative traction bar. It's probably one of my favorite parts. No more wheel hop and a lot more traction. So the tow hooks, you can't use the OEM ones. So these just bolt onto the bottom of it. Actually, right here. These bolts onto the bottom of the traction bar. And then there's a new tow hook. Comes with 2 of them. Similar mounting hardware. An extension bracket. I think if you want to use the OEM mount, don't quote me on that. That's what I think right now. I'm looking at it. Got the traction bar itself. And some more hardware. Figure that out when I get to it. And the best looking part of it, the sidebars. Has a nice glossy finish. And I like these because you can actually see them when you steer the car, or when you have your bumper off, or when you have the car lifted. It looks all race car because you got red bars in there and stuff. Ricer man, I'm telling you. Alright, and saving the best for last, here it is. The beautiful Garrett Turbo. So I was running Garrett T3 T4 50 trim, and this is just a little bit bigger. This is actually the Pure Turbo's P57. So this is a 57mm billet wheel, and it actually has their logo in there, right there. That's kind of cool. It originally comes with just a regular compressor housing, but I opted for the anti-surge upgrade. Actually, the anti-surge upgrade is the one with 4 long strips, but then I asked them if they could get me the bullet holes, and of course Pure Turbo hooked it up. That is where it's at. Yeah, so it's the 4-inch inlet, 57mm, 3-inch V-band outlet, 63 AR, journal bearing, and yeah, there she is. Gorgeous.